way I look, there's literally no reason why I should look this good. Honestly, I didn't need to snap this up. Alright, so first up, obviously it's gonna be my makeup. I've already done my hair. I like slicked it down last night, and yeah, and I just wrapped it up so that it's really slick. I'm just trying to do a slick ponytail with no like added extensions, so just with my hair. But yeah, I've also already done my skincare. Back to makeup. I've done my skincare, so now I'm just like cleaning up any excess product that could be on my brow. I'm trying to go for a little bit of a nighttime makeup look because it is a nighttime event. Well, it's gonna start in the evening, but it will obviously run into the night. So, oh my, what? It will obviously run into the night. So I'm trying to do a nighttime kind of look. Not sure what direction it will be headed, but I'm trying to go for like a nice grown-up, sexy, nighttime look. So anyway, back to the makeup, or back to what I'm doing right now. I'm basically just using the brow gel by Got2b, and first I'm like brushing the opposite direction. Let me get closer, like this, right? So from the back to the front, and you're holding the brush itself horizontally, and that's just so that I can get product onto the brows. Then once you've done that, you wanna start brushing upward to start shaping the brow. But usually it's at this point that I start going in with my spoolie. You want to use a clean spoolie at this point, because sometimes I feel like using the brow gel itself for the whole process makes you end up using too much product, which then makes you wipe too much away or like waste products when you're cleaning it up. So I just like to use the spoolie for the Got2b to apply the product, and then I go in with the clean one to start shaping my brows. So at this point with the spoolie, I'm holding it vertically, and I'm starting to like spike the brows up. And honestly, when you're doing your brows, take your time, because the brows shape the face. So if the brows are off, your base could be so good, but when your brows are off, it kind of throws everything else off. So you really want to make sure that the brows are laid and they are on point. About halfway through the brow, I then shape it. Yeah, so I leave the front spiked up, but the like halfway through, maybe like just before the arch, I go in and shape it. I need to shave my brows, yo. These are not it. They're not doing it. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave these brows to like chill and marinate for a few minutes until it like hardens and sits in place, and then we'll move on to the next step with the brows. Okay, so the brows are almost set, but just before I continue with them, I'm just gonna start patting my skin dry to get rid of any excess oils, because I did do my skincare like an hour ago, because I wanted to give it time to like really grip and like get in my pores. So just lightly start patting my skin. Okay, that's it. And then after that, I like to go in with my primer. I, as always, am using the Yardley 3-in-1 Perfection Primer, which smooths, primes, and blurs. And let me tell you, it does absolutely that. This is, I think, my second or third bottle of this product. Not bottle, it's a tube. This is the third tube that I've bought. It just does what it needs to do, and it does it perfectly. So anyway, with that primer, sorry for the cars you guys might be hearing. So I take it all the way even under my under eye, wow, even on my under eye, and just get it in there, massage it into the skin. Alright, literally look like I have no pores. Alrighty, and also I'm a person with oily skin. This primer does what it needs to do. Like, it hydrates you without making you too matte and like oily. It hydrates you without making you too oily. Instead, you get like a matte satin finish, you know? Like, you can tell I've got like a bit of a glow, but I'm not oily, yeah? Okay, so then I'm gonna go in with a Yardley brush. Honestly, I think since the beginning of this channel, I've been using Yardley products, so it's high time I get a sponsorship. Yardley, if anyone's watching this, please give me a sponsorship. Okay, so now I'm going in with, of course, once again, Yardley. I'm going in with the Yardley translucent powder. Very light. Very, very, like, you can tell I'm dusting off a lot. You want to go in very lightly with this product over the primer, right? Again, when you dip, dust it off. Dust a lot off. And then this will just ensure that that makeup stays on the whole night. It's not going anywhere. And it's gonna be nice and matte. So if you're a person with oily skin, I think this is definitely something that's worth a try. I first saw it on TikTok and I tried it for the first time and I was like, hold up, what just happened? So, okay. No need to bring it down, I'm just dramatic. Okay, and then once you have powdered your face, you should, this side is not looking balanced. Okay. The way I still have eye bags, I literally finished school like 4 months ago. And I still have eye bags. I've not recovered. I don't know what to do about it. If you guys know anything, let me know, because I can't still be dealing with eye bags from university when I'm out of university. That's not cute. That's not cute. Anyway, back to the brows. The brows are set now. So we're gonna get to work on them, but first, before I do that, I'm just gonna set everything that's on my face in place. Ooh, that's not spraying. Okay. And I use the New Skin NAPCA Moisture Mist when I set my face. I don't feel like wetting my sponge with water, so I'm gonna use the moisture mist as well for that. And then with the beauty blender, just lightly pat everything in, because you don't want that powder that you just put on to end up being blotchy in some areas. So you want to make sure that you're evenly blending out that setting spray. Okay. Then now we're going to go into the brows. You guys, the windows are open because it's hot, right? And they start sparking, cars that are hooting, cars that are driving by, people cutting their grass. So if that's what you're hearing in the background, I am so sorry. But it's very hot and I don't want to be sweating while I do my makeup. So yeah, I'm very sorry, but I hope it's not too bad. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad once I edit. But yeah, so now we're going to do brows. I have, oh my gosh, I'm running out of foundation. Okay, so you can tell I love this product. Literally the best foundation I've tried thus far. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to clean up my brows now. So not even clean up because I'm not doing anything to them. But it's a nighttime look, so I think let me try and fill them in a bit. I don't want to do too much. I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna do the tip only. Not this thing breaking. Hold up, let's sharpen. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the end bit of the brow. I don't want to do too much because I usually don't. So I think I'll feel weird about it if I end up doing too much on the brow. And when I tell you these brows are not going anywhere, they literally are not going anywhere at all. That Got To Be gel is so strong. The mistake that I used to make when I first started it is that I would go on to using other products like almost immediately after I had finished shaping the brow and applying the gel. So you want to let it sit there for a while to like really harden and set, and then start doing other things to it. And yeah, so at first when I bought it, I got really frustrated with it. I was like, why is this thing not working? It's got to be. And then I like discovered by mistake that actually I'm supposed to let it wait, like let it sit there and set. So if you do buy the product, don't assume that it's gonna be like strong hold immediately after putting it on. You want to let it set for a bit first, and then you're gonna start using other products. Okay, so I filled in the ends a bit. Now I'm gonna go in with a concealer. This is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade 40, and I'm just gonna mix it with my foundation because I bought this concealer back in the day when halo brows was still a thing. And I'm not into that look anymore. I don't think anyone is. I'm trying to find a brush. Sorry guys, hold up. Okay. Then I've got this concealer here and then the foundation here, and I'm just gonna mix it. I did like less than half a pump of foundation. Okay, so this will help me to highlight my brows without making it look halo-y. Okay, so just gonna spray the brush. I don't know why I do this, but I almost always spray the brush. Don't know why. There's no reason in particular, but if you want to follow this, then definitely do that. I don't have a justification for it though. And then now I'm just gonna start carving the brows. And if you are like me and you haven't shaved your brows, then you absolutely can go a bit higher up with that concealer so that we can clean up and like carve out the brow for you. And then bring it down so that it also helps in creating a base for your eyeshadow. If you're not gonna do an eyeshadow look, you don't have to bring down the concealer like how I am, but if you are trying to go for an eyeshadow look, bring down the concealer so that it creates a nice and even canvas for when you start doing your eyeshadow. Okay, next eye. I'm so happy, you guys. Like, I haven't sat down and done like a makeup video in so long. Like, I'm so happy right now. So like, since I mentioned to you guys that I was trying to spend this year trying to like work on my skin, I haven't been reaching for my makeup, or even new makeup at that. I haven't been reaching for new makeup as much as I usually would, just because I'm just trying to work on my skin. So I'm only ever wearing makeup when I need to wear it, like if I'm going out, events or whatever, like I am today. So I haven't been wearing makeup as much as I'd love to, but it's just a small sacrifice that I need to make for trying to get my skin back on track. And once it's back on track, baby, I'll be back on that makeup. Because honestly, of all things that are like related to beauty and stuff, makeup is my favorite. It's like therapy for me. Okay, I'm just doing a little bit extra to cover that eye. Okay, so I have carved out the bottom of the brow. I'm just gonna use that beauty blender to even out the concealer that's on my eyelid, because you don't want it to be patchy or like thick in some areas and thin in others, because then that's gonna reflect in the application of your eyeshadow. So you want everything to be nice and evened out. Alright, now I'm going to carve the top part of my brow, and with that I just use plain foundation so that it blends in better with the rest of the foundation once I do my base. So get that foundation, and I like applying all my products on my hand before it goes to the brush, just so that it warms up and applies better and it's like easier to work with. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys after I've done the top. I can like talk when I'm carving the bottom, but never the top. Like, that one needs to be crisp and perfect, so I need to concentrate. Okay, so once I've carved the top of the brow, I like to, with the residue that's left on the brush, I like to hold the brush at the very end, right? And then flick it up, like right here in the front, so it kind of looks like the brow is ombreing, if that makes sense. Okay. so like the brow doesn't look too rigid and structured. And that is brow number 1 done. Like it still looks shaped and like I guess done, but it also looks natural at the same time. Yeah. Next brow. Now to the eyes. So again, I'm gonna blend the eyes out because they had started creasing when my eyes were open. Fumi was using this brush the other day. I lent her my brush and now it's like red and stuff. So let me try and dust as much red off as possible. So back to what I was saying. Let me see if they creased. Okay, they haven't creased. So I blended, I blended out the eyes again because when my eyes were opened they were creasing, so I just wanted to do that first and then go in with light setting powder to just set that concealer in place so that it's not moving around too much. I'm just using a fluffy blending brush to do this, and I'm doing it in like a stippling motion because I don't want to move that concealer around too much. Okay. The birds are chirping, child. The birds are chirping. I hope it's not too bad on the audio. I'm so worried about the audio. Okay, anyway, so I went in again with that same Yardley translucent powder to set the concealer on my eyes. Now we're gonna go into doing some eyeshadow. I am not sure what kind of look we're going for. I know it's gonna be nighttime smoky vibes. I almost feel like doing like 1, maybe 2 colors on my eye and just smoking it out and then tight lining the eye. I haven't tight lined in years. Oh my, it's been years since I tight lined. So I also want to tight line and smoke out the under eye. So I have a vision of the vibe but not the colors that I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna go in with this Lungile Tabete X Scarlet Hill palette, and I think I'm gonna use the shade Babe Online, which is this palette is dirty, I'm sorry guys, which is this bottom shade here. It's like a very deep brown. So I'm gonna just pack that on. This bird is so persistent. I'm gonna start from the center and just stipple it on there. And then once you've gotten the coverage that you desired, then you start doing like a windshield motion. And I'm trying to be careful to not bring this color up too much, but also doing eyeshadow on hooded eyes can get a bit complicated, so yeah. But with me and my hooded eyes, I try to, while I'm doing the eyeshadow, feel where my eye socket is. So I blend till where my eye socket is at, and then from there I'll just blend out and diffuse the edges. But while I'm packing the color on, it's literally just on the eye sockets and below. And now that the color is well applied on the rest of the eye, I'm now focusing it on the eye sockets so that it's a bit deeper over there. just like these. Okay, and then I don't know if you guys can see that. And then it's appearing a bit lighter on camera, but it's quite deep and, you know, it's quite deep and pigmented. Okay, so right now the color is on there and it's not blended out. Don't worry, we're gonna fix that in a little bit. So again, I'm gonna repeat that process on this side. All right then, so that is just with one color. Now to diffuse the edges, I'm going to go in with this brown shade. It is the shade Right. Dude, actually I'm gonna go with Dude. So I'm gonna mix these two, Right and Dude. Right and Dude, and I'm just gonna mix them, and this is gonna go on the top to kind of diffuse that the edges of this eyeshadow. I don't want it to be too pigmented, so I'm gonna dust it off quite a lot. And then because this is more so matched with it's like lighter and almost complexion like, you can try and like bring it up to the top, but you just want to diffuse those edges with it. And so with my finger, it's not picking up well on camera, guys, I'm so sorry, but I'm going in with the shade CEO, which is next to that base shade that we used, and I'm just gonna, I did too much, hold on. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of it on my finger, and then I'm only gonna put it on the center of my eye. So right where your eyeball is. It's like a pinky, purpley, creamy shade. It's not shimmery because it doesn't have much of a sparkle to it, but it is quite creamy, so it appears like a sparkle, like a sparkly shade. So again, we've only concentrated that in the center. It's not picking up, but I will take some pictures later on so you guys will see the eye look a little bit better. How am I feeling about this? Usually when I do my makeup, I always feel weird about the eyeshadow until I do the rest of my face. Why can't I talk? I always feel weird about the eyeshadow until I do the rest of my face, and I'm like, okay, all right. So you guys, I'm a tad bit frustrated because my felt tip liner has dried out and I don't even know why. I tried cleaning it, I tried cutting it, I don't know what happened. So I'm just gonna end up using a pencil liner. It's not gonna have the same effect, but oh well. Oh! Guys, internally I hadn't given up, so I was trying to clean it with a makeup remover. And there's another tip for the felt tip. That's crazy. That is, oh my gosh, that's crazy. I mean, my hands are messy now, but hold up. Hold the F up. What just happened? Okay, guys, we made a new discovery. If you have the Winged Women liner by Lottie London, if ever it dries up or gets dirty, pull it out. There's another end inside. That's crazy. Let me try. Hold up. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Okay, let me finish up this liner. So now we're working on our face. So I'm going to go in with a brush like this, so I can do some color correction. Okay, so once you've applied all of the red pigment, I just used a reddish, orangish eyeshadow to color correct. You could use an actual color corrector that's cream based. I just prefer using this eyeshadow because one, it's a powder, so it kind of helps in creating that secured base. But you could honestly use any color corrector that you like. Just make sure it's one that works for your complexion. Once you have done this, you then want to go in with a concealer that is your shade or slightly lighter. I'm gonna use that same concealer that I was using for carving my brows underneath, which is that mixture of concealer and foundation, just because that's what I have remaining. But I will most likely end up going in with the concealer that's closest to my shade after this. So I'm just gonna get a brush that is gonna blend out this product for me properly. And let me actually mix some more, because this is a bit too little. This is too little product. So it's that foundation and that Fit Me concealer in the shade 40. Once again, I'm gonna do about 2 of those. And you don't want to do too much concealer because you're still gonna go in with foundation on top of this. You could go in with foundation, but from this point go straight to foundation, but I'm always scared of doing so because I don't know, I feel like it will peek through, and I'm a person with oily skin, so I like doing a very secured matte base. But by the end of the day, the end of the night, however long I'm going to be wearing the makeup look, I am going to be a bit dewy. So I always worry that in that dewiness, some of that red is going to peek through. So that's why I like doing concealer first before I go in with the actual foundation. So I've mixed it. On my hand, you can see it's very close to my foundation and to my complexion. And then I'm just going to do dabs all over the face. Dab, dab, dab everywhere. And then here I only have like a few spots on my forehead, so I'm only gonna do the spots themselves. It's not really for the forehead as a whole. Then I'm gonna go in with that setting spray. And just spray the brush. Okay. Then light tapping motion just want to blend that over the red so that it cancels it out, and you're left with very minimal pigment showing through. At this point, if I do have some spots that are still showing through, I don't mind, because I know I'm still gonna go in with some foundation. And I think this also helps, like putting concealer first helps you to use less foundation in the end, because if you go straight from color correcting with your red pigment and then going straight into using foundation, you're literally gonna just end up using too much foundation, because you're going to be, you know, using a lot of products to try and cover up this red. So as much as you can, conceal, do it. And if you do have a bit of pigmentation still peeking through, that's absolutely fine, because you're still gonna use foundation at the end. So at this point, pigment who? Where? And make sure when you're blending out that everything is like blended well and diffused well, because that will all impact the overall end product of your base. Then we're now going to go in with the foundation. I do like 1.5 pumps. Let it just, I guess, spread on my hand. That way it gets warmed up well enough. And then I'm gonna just start taking little dabs and placing it all over. And then I'm gonna go in with this Yardley brush, and that's the one that I usually use for foundation. So right now I only applied it on like half of my face, and I used the setting spray as well. I like using the setting spray in between most of the steps, because that also helps with the end product. Cool. So as you can see, I don't have anything under my eyes, so we're gonna move on to that now. So first, I'm gonna use the Fit Me Concealer in 40 and in 35, and I'm just gonna mix it at the back of my hand. That's going to be, and with like literally the tiniest drop of foundation. And this is how you be a bad bee on a budget, guys. If you need new shades of products but you don't have the money for it, literally use what you have and just mix it, and I guarantee you will get the shades that you're looking for the purposes that you want them for. So put that on the brush, and I'm just gonna put it under my eye. You can see that. And right over here. And then I'll go down the bridge of my nose with the same concealer mix, right down the bridge of my nose, just a little bit over here, and then some over here, not too much, and then some over here, and then with whatever residue you have left. Guys, I don't know why the lighting is doing this. Well, it's gotten a bit dark outside. I don't know why. It's so early. And then with whatever's left on the brush, squeeze your cheeks like this, and then follow that natural line that you get. And then because this is lighter, in terms of the amount of product that's there, I'm just gonna blend it out right now. Same thing here, because I don't want it to end up getting patchy. Okay, wipe this off. Then I'm just gonna fan my face for a little bit. You want this to kind of sit before you blend it out so that it has more coverage. I think that's enough. Yeah. So I'm gonna wet the blender again. You can wet it with water. I usually wet it with water. I'm just too lazy to stand up and go do it. So this is what we'll have to do. Okay, so now you wanna, I feel like I'm a bit overexposed. I don't know. Anyway, blend that out now. So I just want to point out that when you are starting to place the concealer placement is going to be different for everybody. And it's going to be different based on your face shape. It's going to be different based on your face shape. So don't take what I'm saying to the T. If your face shape is similar to mine, then definitely maybe use the same placement that I've used. But if you have a different face shape, you're gonna use a different concealer placement. But the objective is still the same, which is to add brightness and dimension back into your skin and to your complexion. So yeah, the idea is still the same, just the placement of the products could be different. Okay, so I'm gonna spray my other beauty blender. And for this one, I'm going to be using it for setting my under eye. So with that same translucent powder, I'm gonna dip into it, dust off the excess, blend out my eye again, because you don't want to set a crease. So you wanna press that powder until it disappears, and then your under eye will be set. I naturally have creasy eyes, so if that's how your eyes are naturally, there's nothing you can do about it. But it is important that you set the under eye first before you bake, if you want to bake. See, now it's bright again. I don't know what's going on with the weather. It's important that you set before you bake, more especially if you have creasy under eyes anyway. It's important that you set it so that the concealer is nice and even, it doesn't settle in your creases. Okay, So same story on this side. We've highlighted our face now. And then with whatever is left on my hand, I load it back on. Then I start going over all the other areas that had the concealer on them. Okay, so for contour, do that same technique I was telling you about. And just follow that natural indentation that happens. I like going in over here as well because double chin who? Not me, baby. And then I'm dipping into that contour shade again, and now we're going in on the forehead. And when you're doing the contour, I suggest that you try and blend it into your edges so that it has a nice natural gradient effect from the foundation to your scalp. So try and expose your edges a little bit so that not your edges or your hairline, so that you blend into it. Okay, once you've done that all over, now you can bring it a bit more forward, as far down as you want, based on how small you want your forehead to appear. Alright, the look is coming together. The look. Okay, so bring it down, bring it down. And then I like to go back again with the translucent powder after I have contoured, and I like to again put it on that sponge and dust off the excess. And then I like to bring back that chiseledness right here. And I try to not make the line too harsh. Just lightly, do it very lightly. And it makes a world of a difference for your contour, chiseledy situation. So I like going in with my Yardley Stay Fast Press Powder in the shade Almond 9. And really pack it on there. And then dust it off, of course, as much as you can, because you don't want this to show up too much. You just want to have it be like that middle shade that kind of brings everything together. So usually where I would use this product is everywhere else where I didn't set with the translucent powder. But recently, and that's what I do, right? That's where I start off. But recently I've actually now just been like doing like one final dust all over my face, because I feel that it brings everything together beautifully. Now be careful to not use too much, once again, as I said, because and I like putting it on my neck and chest as well, because that's why I have foundation. But yeah, be careful when you're doing your what do they call it? When you're doing under your eyes, you don't want to do too much, because you don't want to get rid of that highlight. So be very light-handed with it, but I just feel that it brings everything together. Alright, I'm gonna use that black pencil to tightline. I haven't tightlined in so long, I'm nervous. I don't know if I'm gonna still like it. Okay, let's go. Oh my god. Okay. that did everything it needed to do. It literally, I can't even, it's just the most beautiful thing I ever seen. Let me do my lips now because I'm looking a bit crazy. Let me do my lips and then everything will come together. Then I'm gonna go in with lip gloss. Ew, why do you look like this? Okay, lip gloss. This look is turning out so cute. I like cleaning my glass before I close it. Am I weird for doing that? I always do that. I'm gonna go in with a small, it's like almost dome shaped but not quite, and it's by Yardley. The brush is by Yardley, and I'm gonna go in with that shade Babe Online to just diffuse on my lower lash line. Cute, right? Super cute. Okay, then let us, ooh, I got some in my eye. Okay, then I'm going to just set my face. I like doing it from afar and just like stepping into the mist. So then it like lays more gently. And then boom! The makeup is done. It's just looking, oh my god. Okay guys, so I've gotten dressed and literally I'm obsessed. So this is my hair and I've added a pair of lashes and my lip liner went away, but I'm gonna reapply that with some gloss later on. I think when I get to Pumi's house, because we're leaving from Pumi's house. And then this is the rest of the fit. I've worn this dress before. Who says you can't rewear? Maybe. Cute. I will insert some pictures of how everything turned out. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe for some more looks like this, because the way I look, there's literally no reason why I should look this good. Honestly, I didn't need to snap this hard. Let me get some fragrance. So I'm wearing this Avon Far Away Glamour, and then my go-to Dunhill D Ocean. It's actually a male fragrance, but I love the depth of it and the muskiness. And yeah, that is it. It literally looks so good. Can't believe how good I look. There ain't no reason why I should be looking this good. I didn't need to snap this hard. Anyway, I'm joking.